Hello, everybody, and welcome to the It's Pizza Time podcast. I'm your host, Indigo, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Victor,
Hello, you can also call me Lucius.
my co-host, Plaxium,
Hello, you can also call me LUNAH.
all right, and our special guest, the only Pixel 19.
That's me. Or you guys can call me Duality, Dual, whatever y'all prefer. But hello.
Welcome to the show.
Sick. Yeah, welcome.
Thanks for
dude.
having me.
All right. Let's preface this. I think I'm gonna preface every guest with this question, but what's your go-to kind of pizza?
Pepperoni pizza. I'm pretty basic, but like you can never go wrong.
All right, that's pretty fair. All right, good. Yeah, it's an acceptable answer, so I'll give you that one.
Is the not so acceptable answer Hawaiian?
You know what? I'm not gonna make any comments on that because I'm the pizza guy. You know, I can't have
Yeah.
bias. I can't have bias or favorites. You know.
As long as it's
But
Hawaiian's good, come on.
pizza. I mean, as long as it's pizza, right? I mean, that's all it has to
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's-
yeah.
be. Breakfast,
Then-
lunch, dinner, snack, brunch, every time.
All right, then you get to like the question though, like what considers it a pizza? You know, like what you just need dough, sauce, and cheese, right? Then there's like a hot pocket.
Have you guys ever
Can that
had
be a pizza?
dessert pizza?
Oh, what?
Never.
What is-
Explain.
It's like just imagine a pizza, but instead of tomato sauce, they'd put like Nutella, and then like instead of pepperoni, they'd put like banana slices,
Bro,
and it
that's
goes
just
to
a crepe, dude.
Yeah, that's absolutely exactly what I was
That's
thinking.
just a crepe.
Damn. I don't know my foods, man. If it looks like a pizza, I'm gonna call it a pizza.
I gotta search this up. Hold on.
All right, maybe. Okay. So, for those of you who aren't aware, Duel here, he does a lot of cool YouTube's stuff. Do you wanna explain what it is you do over there?
Yeah. I do a variety of stuff, but I'm most known for making mashups and mixes, and occasionally commentaries regarding random music-related stuff. Currently, my claim to fame is making one of the first Crab Rave memes. We're almost at 1 million views on that, so we'll see what happens.
sweet.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's a milestone waiting to happen. Let's fucking
Right?
get there.
Yeah, we're at I think 967,000 as of this recording, somewhere around there. So
Ooh,
who
that's-
knows? It might be this year.
Yeah.
Gotta get it
that's-
up there.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been doing. So you do like basically mostly mashups on your channel. So
Yeah.
What got you into? Well, I'll ask like what got you into the music in the first place, but also like what got you into that? Because it seems like a pretty niche area of like electronic music.
Well, I guess to start off, how did I get into electronic music? This is I remember watching a couple of YouTubers, and they went by the name of Two Awesome Gamers, two Australian YouTubers. They make gaming content, and they made this one like GTA 5 drifting montage that used Monstercat music, which is EDM. And that's basically how I got introduced into EDM and started following it a lot more. Spread out to other labels and genres. At the time, Monstercat and NCS were like the go-to for me because they were like the biggest YouTube EDM labels.
Yeah.
How I got into mashups, I wish it was a bit more entertaining than this, but I was listening to a song and I was just like, this sounds like another song that I've heard. And then I at the time, I have this weird thing where I can like crash any program, and one of my friends was like, you should try crashing FL Studio. So I happen to have a crack of FL Studio, but like never once touched it as a program aside from that. So I was like, oh wait, I have this audio program, I could try making the mashup, and then that's how it all began.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's pretty sick. Do you remember what the song
Yeah.
was, or like?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't remember the exact mashup, but I remember it was a Pixel song, Pixl, which is also pretty coincidental.
Oh yeah.
But and then from there, when I uploaded it, because at the time I was doing like gaming content, it did pretty well for like views, and I was like, oh well, people like this. I guess I'll keep doing it. So then for that year, this was back in 2016, I started doing like mashups every day, or trying to get that like daily content, and then I was able to make a name for myself on that, and now we're here.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
That's cool.
That's actually pretty cool. Like PIXL, like Pixel. That was like a name that I haven't heard in a long time. That was kind of the
Right.
last thing
Yeah.
I expected, like to hear from you. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was a simple house mashup. I've since unlisted that video because it was really bad. You can still find it though. It's just like if you tried to search for it on Google, it won't show up. But I have this like not folder, playlist. That's what it is. I have a playlist of like unlisted videos, or it's just like if you want to see them, you could find them. But it's not amazing. But it's
All right.
Right.
your first
like-
creation is never your best.
We should try to put it up over the audio now and just like see what happens.
Start crying.
All right.
Yeah. And in terms of the start, I think we all kind of had similar starts where we were just kind of chilling, doing stuff on YouTube early on, and then like stumbling upon a video that had like some crazy music behind it, finding it out it was either Monstercat or NCS, and
yeah, we
you
talked
know,
about that for a while last episode.
yup, yup,
Because I remember like Monstercat and NCS would kind of be like the fan bases would kind of be like kind of at war with each other. I don't know, you guys like kind of noticed, but like some people preferred like NCS and some people would prefer like Monstercat.
Well, as with any two things,
of course.
You know,
Yeah.
There's always supposed to be some.
two things.
The
in
music
any,
titans of YouTube.
Yeah. The
And
fucking
then it was the rise of the promotional channels. You got Trap Nation, Trap City.
deep dish and New York style.
You right.
Well, I
Right.
mean, I'm the pizza guy. I have to somehow relate it back.
Of
All right.
course.
Okay, I want to talk to you about where your mashups have recently been taking you and stuff like that. Like, I mean, for one, for those of you who aren't aware of what this guy does, he's actually which year was it you won the Monstercat Mix competition?
Oh, okay.
2018? 2018, right?
So it's a bit of a timeline, but I'll try to keep it concise. Back in
Alright.
2016 or back in 2015, Monstercat had a mix contest where you could submit a 15-minute mix, and then the best ones would be featured on their Monstercat podcast, which I believe is now referred to as Call of the Wild, which is a radio show. Back in 2015 was actually the first time I tried doing something. Didn't end up well, didn't make it anywhere. That was the end of that. In 2016, I was selected as a finalist to partake in the contest. And in 2016, it was turned into like a more longer form of a contest. I think I tied for third in 2016. And then in 2018, I took part in the contest again, and that time I made it through the whole thing and won.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice.
And it's awesome to see your progression as well.
Yeah, I
Do
look
that.
back on like my older stuff, and I'm just like, man, I would not have thought I would be here now, and like,
Yo.
man, I used to do that, and now I'm here. It's pretty cool.
It's
Yeah, like,
really
with
cool to see
that-
your determination as well. To
Yeah,
like
with
actually
that,
follow suit. My bad.
yeah, dude, with that win, you got to play at Monstercat Compound, right?
Yeah, so the grand prize in 2018 was that they would fly you out to Vancouver to play at their compound event. And funny enough, I had never played live at all. So prior to that event, I had like a 3-hour crash course on how to actually DJ. And then, but at the end of the day, it all went really well. And I'm pretty grateful for my experiences so far. Since then, I've just kind of been doing my own thing. I've been helping out a bit behind the scenes with their radio show and curating mashups for Monstercat's Call of the Wild, and then just continuing to do YouTube in general.
Nice, dude. That's pretty fucking cool. Like, how was it actually to? Have you ever, have you ever traveled like besides, that trip? You like normally travel?
I wouldn't say I normally travel, but like I have traveled before. It wasn't my first time though traveling by myself, and I was pretty excited about that. My parents, or one of my parents at least, wanted to come because they were worried about anything going wrong, which is understandable.
Oh yeah.
But the Monster Cat event was at the same time as another family trip that was like being planned. So I wasn't able to go with my family because they were going elsewhere. So that's why that was my experience going by myself, and it was all good. The Monster Cat team had a hotel that was covered by them for a couple days, so I was able to explore the city for a bit, and overall, I think it all went amazingly well.
That's fucking crazy to hear. Did you get to meet like anyone notable or all that?
Yeah, I got to meet a lot of the Monster Cat staff. I got to briefly talk to the CEO. I got to talk with Going Quantum.
Oh,
Those are some of the more notable names, I guess. A&R, Sacha, uh, just to name a few. At the actual Compound event, there were more artists that I got to meet up with. I got to meet up with the duo from Vice Tone. I met up with Duality, Mitchell Claxton. That's another old name, but you might remember him.
Oh damn.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. A super great experience. Oh, I got to meet up with Conroe. That was cool too.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah.
So, for like, from a lot of people out there, I'm assuming, but also like the three of us, we've never done like a legit show. So how is that? How is that like? Is you know?
being a part of it.
Yeah. How does it feel like being up there like opening for like art like these artists that you've looked up to for a really long time?
Man. Well, I guess it's definitely different to what I normally do because whenever I do mashups and mixes at home on like FL Studio, everything's pre-recorded. You have like a million times to make the perfect transition. Meanwhile, when you're up on stage, you only have one try with the practice that you might have gone in before to get that transition correct. So I know when I was up there, like the biggest concern was I just don't want to make any mistakes. And I did make one mistake at the very beginning. I accidentally just cut off the music. But luckily, because it was right at the very beginning and right before me, they were just doing a bunch of audio tests. So it was just kind of like, oh yeah, no, they were just finishing testing with the audio. All right, now my mix starts, and then so I was able to kind of brush it off like that. When I had my set, um, it was because it was opening. There weren't as many people, and it was also like a bit rainy, so there wasn't as many people out there. So I wasn't like too stressed out because if it was like if I was closing, then there'd be like 1,500 people at the event, and I'd be
Oh
like,
shoot.
that
Oh
would
yeah.
not be as crazy. So
Right.
like at least with yeah, sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. At least if with the opening, it was like I could just kind of vibe and do what I'm doing, and if I make a mistake, it happens. A lot of artists were very understanding when they heard it was my first time, and they're like, you did really well, and I was like, really really humbled that they thought that I did all right.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool actually. Like I would have probably like if that was me, I would have freaked out.
For sure.
Yeah, cause like if you're like in the front of a big crowd too, and it's your first time, then yeah, obviously
Yeah.
you're gonna get some feeling of nervous inside you.
Of course. And it's like a big Monster Cat show as well. It's not like a small little club or anywhere like smaller.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, one of the staff members, Dan, he was behind me, and he was the guy who actually coordinated the whole event. Um, he was just like, "I'm gonna be behind you, so like if anything goes wrong, I can like take over and try to like help you out or whatever." And apparently, because the entire time I was mixing, I looked very confused and very focused on like the mix board in front of me. So at different times, Dan was like, "Should I run in and help or whatever?" But then he would realize like, "No, I got it." I think after the first transition, I was just like, "Okay, I got this," and I kind of went into like the zone and You don't want,
Yeah.
because like I was just like, what is it? I wanted to like speak into the microphone, be like, like everybody, what's up or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the microphone wasn't working, so I couldn't really interact with the audience. So I was just kind of like, well, I can't really talk to them, and I guess I might as well just focus with what I'm doing. So I was just kind of like making sure everything was going well. So I got into like the zone like that, and by the end of it, I was like, that wasn't too bad. But one thing I definitely noticed is an hour behind the decks is a lot longer than an hour from the audience.
For sure.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, you're like focused on like 10 different things at once. You're, like in your mind, you're probably thinking about what's the next song you're gonna queue up, transition, everything. So
Yeah, I
crazy.
know a lot of the more like professional artists who do this like for a living. They can probably make like a brand new set from scratch, completely like random. But
Mhm.
for my set, I went into it with like already having a predetermined order of the music that I wanted to go through. And I had already like tested out the transitions prior, so I was just like, okay, this is like a reasonable transition that I could do live. So I wasn't going in like completely like empty-handed, I guess you could say. So at least with that, it was like I had a good game plan, and it all came out well. So I'm really happy with how everything turned out. I'm not sure if I answered the question, but it was a bit rambly.
No, you definitely did.
Yeah, I mean, I take that as a win.
Right.
Yeah,
Big W's.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's definitely something you can like talk about, like if you're trying to, apply for a job in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, hey, I won the Monstercat mix competition and played live at Compound. People will be like,
Right.
"Whoa, that was you," and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, here's the job."
Funny you say that. Last year I applied to Monstercat for one of their
Wait, what
positions.
podcast are we talking about here? Like, what number? Do you know what number it was? Or like,
What episode?
This is episode 2, right? Or are we talking about Monstercat
Yeah,
podcast?
we're talking about Call of the
Monstercat.
Wild. Yeah, we're episode 2. We're
I
nowhere near.
think in 2016 it was episode 127. In 2018, I don't remember, but oh no, in 2018 it was like 202 or 205. It was around there. It was like right after the 200th episode. No, but when you said about
Yeah,
having it
about
in
the
your
career.
application, it's funny you say that because last year I applied to a position at Monstercat. I didn't get the job, but I included at the bottom of my resume like rewards, and then won Monstercat 2018 mix contest. I was like,
Right.
you guys know me, don't worry.
Yeah. And then since then, have you performed any shows at all?
I haven't performed any shows in real life just
Mhm.
because I haven't really had the time to start managing myself and getting shows and trying to get myself in the clubs and whatnot with like school and a real life job. But
Right.
what I have been doing is, and you've probably seen a lot more of this with the whole coronavirus situation,
Mhm.
is that a lot of festivals are going digital. They're getting people to like make sets and then they stream them. So I've been doing a number of those kinds of sets. I did one, I think, a few months back, and then with my YouTube content, I've been uploading mixes over there as well. So the content doesn't stop, but I just haven't done that many live sets for like shows. I do occasionally mix by myself to just practice the skills, because one of the analogies that one of the staff members said is that like DJing is like riding a bike. The first time might be a bit like rocky, but then afterwards it's a skill that you have for life. So I want to try to keep those fresh for whenever the next show might happen.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Okay. I want to know, have you ever made like a mashup, or have you ever wanted to mash a couple things up like for your own personal like listening rather like than to upload?
Yeah, I think all mashups that I make are like mashups that I want to do. Occasionally I'll be like, oh, this has like potential to sound good, and I'll mash it just to be like, I wonder if this works or whatever. And then from there I'll see if it's good enough. I might be like, oh, I'll upload it because why not? I don't think maybe in the past, I would have uploaded something for the sake of uploading, or because I would think that, like, it's a popular song or artist, so it's gonna do well. But nowadays, if it's not something I like, I scrap it, which is also partially why I guess in the past 2 years, in comparison to like the first 2 years, I haven't been uploading as much, because back then my mentality was daily grind, gotta upload, gotta upload. But now I'm just like, I haven't had that. I haven't had a daily streak in forever, so I don't mind not uploading for another couple of days if it means working a bit longer on another mashup to make it better.
All right, sick. Do you, John, Victor, do you guys have any other questions?
I asked him this question before, but I believe I disconnected. But what podcast like did you actually like win like the mixes? I believe.
Oh yeah, no, he answered that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I got disconnected. That's my bad.
Yeah,
That's
you
all
got
good, man.
beamed. It was on
206. I just found it.
6?
Yeah. 206 Monstercat Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. 'Cause I
Monstercat.
used to listen to that a lot too, and I could have like I probably would have like heard it too, but I didn't even know it was you as well.
Yeah, it's crazy when people message me and they're just like, "Oh, I found you through the Monstercat Mix contest," and I'm just like, "Damn, like that's crazy." Definitely not something you expect, I guess, but
You still
yeah.
have people doing it today? Just, like,
Yeah,
random.
or not so much like oh well, yeah, there will be people who like. Sorry, I'm trying to find my words. Nowadays, it's not really. What am I trying to say? Yeah, it still happens. Like, people will just be like, "I found you through the mix contest," or like when people will reminisce and be like, "Man, I remember when I first heard your stuff," and I'm like,
Right,
"Man,
right.
that's crazy." Because a good amount of people found me through YouTube, but
Mhm.
of course, not with the being on Monster Cat's radio show. It was inevitable that there would be people hearing about me for the first time there. So it's always really cool to hear how people manage to find my stuff in different ways.
Yeah, I
Right,
believe
right.
I found you through it was like Rogue or like Stonebang. It was like a mashup with like Slips and Slurs or something.
Oh boy, that's an old name.
Yeah, I heard you through that mashup, and then I subscribed, and I just kind of like saw like more of your mashups, how you like mixed every single album, and like you mix like one song combined with like every single album or something like that. And I just found it pretty cool as well.
Your album like mashups, you're full on those. Those were
Mhm.
pretty freaking cool. I tuned in for the premiere of the what was it, the Coven Butterfly Effect one that you just recently had.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. I got myself and a couple buddies to make a bunch of mashups for the entire album. So like each person had one song or two songs, and then we made one long album mix, and that
That's sick.
did pretty well. It was a big collaboration in the process. We have another one that we're trying to work on, but it got a bit backed up because of the whole pandemic thing, and Animal Crossing got released, and that's the real reason. But I don't want to own up to it, so.
I feel
But
like that's for most people, man. Don't worry.
yeah,
Mhm.
Animal Crossing life now. I'm a farmer.
Bro, you're lucky you got a Switch, man. All of them are like they're either like sold out or they're like way overpriced right now.
Right.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the Switch shortages aren't helping. It's I had a friend who was thinking of getting a Switch, and it was like, oh man, I don't wanna pay full price. I want to maybe get one used or whatever. And now it's just like an official Switch is like 700 Canadian, which is
Jeez.
less
Wow.
than American. I think it's like 500 American, but it's still crazy.
Like a used Switch is like 150% the regular price.
Yeah,
Of
Rough.
like a new. It's crazy.
I wanted to get the Animal Crossing Switch, but like I already had a Switch, so I was just like, I can't do anything
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah, the things that are like are super out of stock right now are Switches and like game captures and like video captures and stuff like that, because
Everyone wants to be a streamer now.
Everyone wants to
Yeah.
stream now. Like especially with the DJs and stuff, which I think is pretty. I think it's nice. Like I can go to pretty much anyone's show that I want to see from the comfort of my own home. But I do miss I miss the situation. I miss like the what's it called? The fucking
Physical
yeah,
aspect
the
being
yeah,
there.
the atmosphere. That's the
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like, I think it's really cool that there's like this shift into having digital shows. But whenever
Mhm.
people talk about like digital shows replacing real live shows, like that's not gonna happen.
Right.
you can't.
The the real life experience of being at a physical show will never be matched by an online show. And funny enough, like though I participated in online shows, I find myself getting bored at them. Like I'll go play my set or whatever, and then I'm just like, okay, well I'm gonna head out because my attention span is too short to sit at a computer to listen to everyone else's, and I feel bad. But it's like I don't know, I can't.
Yeah, it's not as engaging as it could be. I mean, I feel like there's no real way for the audience, at least, to really interact with the artists and stuff, other than through chat.
Yeah.
Big old poggers Twitch chat.
Yeah, you're because you're not like moving around or anything. You're not like interacting with the people next to you.
It's
Like
the environment too. Like you got
yeah,
so much people around you, like getting hyped, whatever. You got those
yeah.
visuals like being blasted in your face. Like it's just not the same.
Yeah, I'm honestly getting to the point where I'm kind of even missing like the people that are like jerks at shows and whatever. Like, cause it's like, hey, at those shows, like somebody could spill a beer on me, but I'm having such a
Right.
good time. I'm not gonna worry about it until I get home later. You know? But like now, if
Man, I
somebody
just want to get
fucking
in a
walked
fight.
in, yeah. Now if somebody walked in and just like the only way that could happen is if like I'm listening, I'm just jamming out in my seat, and then just like I don't know, someone walks into my room and just pours like a cup of beer over my head, and I'd be like, "What the fuck, man?" Like the only way
Too
I
many
could experience.
experiences with beers being spilled on us. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
I haven't.
yeah. Oh, you want go ahead?
Oh, I was just gonna say I haven't had a beer spilled on me, but I almost got into a fight, and that's like the worst experience I had. But even that like worst experience isn't really that bad because I was just like, nah,
Mhm.
we ain't
Yeah.
fighting, and then we didn't, so it was all good. And it was
That's
just like it was all like during a set, so it was just like okay, well back to the music, I guess.
that's the best way to this is the best way to go about it. Just like be the better man. Say no.
That's always the goal. You were gonna say something? Pardon?
Yes, I was gonna ask. So, first of all, what is your favorite, or what was your like first experience live? Like, who was the first person you ever saw live? And I also want to talk about like you went out to, EDC Orlando recently, or like last year, didn't you?
Yeah. So I guess funny enough, my first like live show or festival was Monstercat Compound. I don't really go out to many shows because I'm not really the most informed in like what shows are going on in my area. Like I live very close to Toronto, Canada, which is like one of the biggest cities in Canada. So more than likely there's probably like a lot of shows that I could go to, but like never having gone to them. I'm not really interested in potentially going to them, and I wouldn't really want to go by myself to those shows because like I think part of the fun going to shows is going with other people.
Right.
So with
Yeah.
that being said, Monstercat Compound in 2018 was my first show, and it was the one that I played. So it was a lot of fun, not only getting to play the show, but also experiencing what it's like to be at a show. Um, and then the second show I'd ever been to was, as you said, EDC Orlando, and I went last year. And I also, sorry, not last, and back in, I'm trying to remember the timeline. What year are we? 2020. In 2018, I went to EDC Orlando, and then last year, 2019, I also went to Monstercat Compound and EDC Orlando.
Mhm.
And I would say that EDC Orlando was amazing. There's like multiple stages, so like you always had the option to go to different people if you weren't a fan of one but were a fan of another. While in Orlando, I also got to meet up with a bunch of other online friends, so that was also a really fun experience. I realize I forgot what the question was, but I hope I answered it. Or if you want to ask the question
I
again.
mean, that was pretty much the question. I just wanted to talk about
Yep.
EDC Orlando.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, EDC Orlando was great. The weather was really nice. Last year it rained the first day, so that was we were all drenched by the end of the first day. But that was also, I think, an entertaining experience in and of itself. Like, I didn't see it as a negative, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing, if I go to EDC Orlando this year, which is something that I'm not sure because of the whole thing, but something that I haven't been able to experience is that the legal drinking age in the USA is 21. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in Canada, it's 19, except for like a couple places where it's 18. So, I mean, I don't know. I've never drank at a festival, but that might be something to look forward to. Who knows?
Right.
All right. As long as you don't bring the beer with you into the crowd, then don't be that guy. All right.
Mosh pit with the beer.
Oh yeah. yeah. I'm gonna bring a
I've never done a mosh pit either.
Oh man, dude, those are fun.
Throw hands.
Are you usually like someone who stays behind or like in the back of the crowds, or do you like just somewhere in the middle, or do you like go up to the rail if you can, or?
See, I think I would go up to the rail, but the people I hang around with don't want to go up to the rail, so I don't normally go that far. I think I'm usually around the middle or like close to the back because we because like I said, I go with like other people, so we don't want to split up. And being the Canadian boy in the middle of Florida, I definitely don't want to get lost. So
That's fair.
I know. Oh, last year at the end of last year, like November, December, I went to the Monstercat Uncaged tour that came to Toronto.
Ooh.
And for that, because it's really small, it was like in a nightclub kind of thing. I was at the front the whole time, and like, you know, I'm in Toronto, so I'm not worried about getting lost there. When I was in Orlando, the first couple shows, like the audience, or like, you know, the area was like pretty empty. You could go to the front very easily. So like I have been to the front, but
Yeah.
I would love to be like at the front for a closing set. That would be insane.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's usually fun. Like
I gotta invest in earbuds though. Go ahead,
Oh,
sorry.
for sure.
Oh yeah, I got to see R.L. Grimes' closing set at Outside Lands last year from the front row, which was that was fun. Started a pit.
Oh
So,
boy.
Yeah, it was big fun. Big fun. Like it was like Outside Lands is like basically like the San Francisco version of Coachella. So not everybody is like, it's not really an electronic festival, but there were a couple electronic artists there. So I was literally, I think, one of the only people rail riding, like headbanging like fucking mad.
Bruh.
And I just it's like over time more people started doing it with me, so I was like, yeah, cool. I'm bringing it.
The trendsetter continues to set trends.
Oh, don't call me a
Exactly.
trendsetter.
Okay, pizza time.
Oh, fuck on, man.
Got him.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
you got me. Epic win. All right. Yeah, but if you should come through. You come through LA. We'll take you to a show. Well, you'll rail ride with us.
LA is definitely a state that I'd love to come to at some point.
Yes.
I'm not
Los
sure.
Angeles, my favorite state of the United States.
Man, I don't know what my favorite state would be, but like everyone always talks like amazingly of like California, or well, you know,
Right.
there's also the people who talk really badly about it. But
Yeah.
California is a place I'd like to hang around sometime. I don't know when, but perhaps sometime. Maybe I'll come down with a friend, and if I happen to be around, I'll be like, "Yo, when are we getting pizza or something?"
For
Yeah,
sure.
dude. It's a great place to be for this kind of stuff too. Like
Absolutely.
there's like multiple shows
are you all in
every
LA?
week.
Yep.
Yeah, just around the
yeah.
area. I mean, John, you're like
Like-
south of LA.
Oh. Yeah, like 3 minutes away. Sometimes like an hour. There's like traffic or something.
That's usually
Yeah.
like
There's
that
always
one.
traffic.
Yeah, you could take like here. You could take like an hour to drive like 5 miles.
I know.
Just
I was
Walk at that point.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly.
So like I've been taking like public transport for most of my shows.
Screw
'Cause
them.
It's
I
yeah,
hate it.
because it's like whatever.
parking's the worst too.
Honestly, fuck parking at shows, dude.
It's like $20 for a spot,
Exactly.
and the ticket will be like 45. Oh man.
Yeah, you're paying like a
Plus
fuck
the
ton of money.
fees.
Yeah, exactly.
When we went to EDC Orlando, there was like no formal parking lots because like the show was kind of in the middle of nowhere. So like all of the available parking spots or whatever around the area were like owned by people who were like who had bought the land prior to like make profit. So like one parking slot would be like $30, and so we'd have to like drive around seeing which area was like the best price. Then we found a good spot for like $20 for the whole day. So that's how our parking situation went.
They're just parked in the middle of the road.
Well, no.
What are they
Or
gonna
just
do?
take the parking ticket.
Just park vertically against the road so nobody can get past. Just be like
Big brain.
Yeah, like
Just-
what are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do? Move your car? Lol, just put it on parking.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Those things are heavy. They can't pick them up.
I'll have
Maybe
to
with
bring
two
a-
people they could though.
It's true.
Maybe.
One monkey weak, but two monkeys strong.
You're right.
Imagine if like that's how tow truck companies worked. They just sent like a couple people and they just picked up your car and walked away with it.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I mean,
You just see like two dudes walking down a highway just with a car above their heads.
yeah. And people will be like, "What the hell happened?" It's like, "Oh, this guy parked illegally."
Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Nothing to
just-
see here.
Just go about your day. You're all good.
Now I'm thinking about like there's tow truck like turf wars.
What?
Yeah, there's like
Okay.
there'll be like people who like if there's an accident in my area, then I should be the one to go for it. But then
I
if you like
see.
tread into someone else's area, there's like beef that goes on. I don't know. I just
Ooh.
remember reading a headline that like some tow truck guy got shot from like because of turf wars, and I'm
That's
just like,
crazy.
bruh.
Seriously.
I don't want to read about any more like gang violence. I want to read about like tow truck violence.
Right? That's insane.
I'd watch a show about that.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they have the same thing about ambulances too. That'd be crazy. Ambulance gang wars.
That's my
feel like-
patient.
I feel like that wouldn't be the case because I would just like, well, if anything, like actually they'd be more inclined to do that. Like, hey, I'll get the driver of this ambulance, and now he has to go in my ambulance.
Right?
I would just be like, you could deal with them. I don't
You're in
want.
the
I don't
wrong
want.
section. Section of the city. You can't pick up patients here. What do you think you are? Crazy.
Crazy shit, dude.
But yeah, tow trucks are pretty crazy. That's what we've learned today.
Mhm.
All right.
I wonder if they blast EDM in the tow trucks when they're doing it.
Probably. I bet there are some EDM tow truck junkies.
Right? I wonder what songs they're playing.
Fucking. You got that halogen.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything funny to say.
Yeah, me neither. Like,
Rogue
I was thinking of
Rattlesnake.
like, oh yeah,
Pots and
Just
pans.
some kitchen stuff. Just
Hell yeah.
That's the sound my car makes.
oof.
Rest in peace, car.
Just drive it off a cliff and sample it. That's how
There
it's
you go.
going.
Bruh.
Oh no, just sample your car so you can record that, make a song, and then buy a new car.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
You also have to sell that song a lot.
And the car. With
Yep.
the added purchase of a song.
Or keep the car and continue to sample it.
That's true.
That's
Yeah, because what if you make a big hit and then you need to get the sound?
You make
Again.
a VIP.
Exactly.
You go to like the
Honestly.
junkyard. You're like, can I buy my car back, please?
I need it for sounds.
I don't need to buy it back. I just need to like walk in and just like turn it on for a second.
It's in the
Right.
compactor. Don't worry, I'll only be a minute.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. It's like it'll be the exact same sound as if it were still working.
It would be just sitting there with a microphone close up to it, and they're just like staring at you, like, "What is wrong with this person?" Hold on, I'm making a song.
I know I could use any other car, but this one hit.
This
This
one's
one
the one.
slaps, bro.
Making a snare by hitting your car.
Right.
Honestly, fucking, I love electronic music for that reason. You can make any kind of sound from anything.
Right.
Exactly.
Fucking crazy ass science, bro.
The
It's so
next-
cool and also like so intimidating that you
Yeah.
can't do anything. It's like, what do you make?
What do you want to make?
Just a good snare, bro.
Go tap that car then.
About a ding ding ding.
I expect for the
Honestly.
next mashup on your channel, it better be tow trucks.
Oh my goodness. I will like look for tow truck violence turf gang and sample it somewhere.
Yep.
Honestly,
I'm so excited.
sounds like a plan. I'm hyped for it.
Right?
Now we have a tow truck podcast. Was there something else we wanted to get to, or
I don't know. Is there anything else that you wanted to ask us or John or Victor? Did you guys want to ask him anything?
do you
I
think? I do have one question, and
Yes.
any of y'all can answer, right? I
Mhm.
always hear people talking that like the big move for a music artist is to move to LA.
Right.
Do you think that's the right thing to do?
Ooh,
I
you-
think that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you go first. You go first.
I was gonna say it's definitely a beneficial thing because then you get to connect with other people. But I feel like now that there is such an online presence, and especially because of coronavirus, everybody's online. I think that the pricing of just staying in LA by itself isn't really worth it. But at the same time, you can go to so many different shows and meet people and just connect through that way. Where I think it might be worth it. It really just depends on what exactly you want to do. So that's kind of my answer.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think it's like you should build up like as much as you can of like a career from where you are, and then like once you think you've hit as much as you can like from where you are, then it's like a good move to move out to LA, because it's
Yeah.
LA is like I'd say like the hub of just like entertainment in general, whether
Mhm.
it be music or like definitely for electronic music, LA is the hub.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
you know, you have like you can have like up to like 7 shows a week, or no, 7 shows a day on the weekends, like around LA.
Really,
And
pick and choose.
yeah, and then you can also just like there's also really good you know, there are a lot of companies that work out here and a lot of stuff like that. You can meet a lot of people. It's pretty fucking insane actually.
Right.
I wasn't thinking of making that move, but like I guess I was like, you guys are in LA, I might as well ask. So it's been very insightful. I appreciate it.
I mean,
Yeah, the
I
only
feel
like I think overall, I feel like it is one of the best moves that you could do. It's just really about the pricing of like the apartments and
Yeah.
housing, really. And if that's worth, and if you're making
Yeah.
enough money outside,
if you
I
have
think that
the
definitely.
if you have like the the drive to like put in a lot of effort into what it is you want to pursue, then I feel like it's definitely a good choice.
Mhm.
Because it's
That
like,
requires effort.
yeah, but
Right?
if you move here like without like a plan or without like anything, like you might get something done, but chances are you won't unless you like actually have like an idea. Or
Yeah,
you
'cause,
actually
like,
put in the effort.
LA kind of presents a huge opportunity, but like I feel like it's up to you
Yeah.
to kind of have the will and drive to do it. Because if you just go there and you have like what Marco said, you have no plan, then it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if
Yeah.
you have like a mindset that you know what you're gonna be doing, you have like a reputation or something, you gain some sort of reputation, and that how do you say it? That part of LA, that influence that it has, like that big influence in the music, can help you kind of boost you up.
For sure.
Yeah,
Big
that's
risk,
like
but big reward.
Yeah.
exactly. It's because it
Because I mean, if you like
Yeah.
move out here and you just like sit at home all day, then it's not worth it. I mean, you can go and like sit at home anywhere. I mean, ideally, like as an EDM artist, I think the best thing that you can do is connect with other EDM artists, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like you guys can just inspire each other, of course, and just going out to these shows. Like, even though like I make music on the side, but it's just not big enough yet. I feel like whenever I go to these shows, even if I'm not in the mood of producing at that moment, I feel like when I do go to them, I am so inspired like the next day or that night. Well, I'll come home at like 2 or 3 in the morning and I'll just sit down and immediately start producing. So I feel like just being in the environment where like that's possible, I think it's very beneficial. And
Mhm.
again, some of these shows, some of them are free, some of them are like relatively cheap, as in like $10, $15 for the small ones. And again,
Yeah.
like you can meet up with these artists afterwards, hang out, right? And
Yeah.
just build yourself through that.
if you just come at the beginning of the show, you can chill at the rail, and if you just wait a little bit like after the show's over, chances are you'll meet someone.
For sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of artists are really chill like that.
Definitely.
All right, is there anything else we want to cover before I guess we wrap up here?
I think I'm personally good. I think I'm just hyped for that tow truck mashup that's coming
Oh
up.
my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that. That's like
For sure. Tow trucks and pizza. We need like some pizza samples in there too. We need like a pepperoni slap onto the pizza, or just you eating into.
just
just
put a
slap the
pepperoni
pizza.
at a tow truck.
Yeah.
That
Oh
should
my
be,
goodness.
That should be the sound effect. That's the effect right there. All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's the mash.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I guess if we have nothing else, I think this is a pretty good spot to end this episode.
Sure.
So
Sounds good.
yeah, thank you, Dual for coming. Do you want to plug anything before you dip or?
Thanks for having me. I'm the only Pixel 19 everywhere. If there's a social media for it, I'm probably there. Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud. Those are my top 3. And yeah, I won't spend too much time. But again, thank you for having me, and make sure to drink water.
All right, we'll put some links in the description and shit like that for you. So all good.
Thanks.
All right,
And
so,
follow this podcast.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Fucking hypers in chat.
Right.
Where could I watch this podcast or listen?
It's probably gonna be through just YouTube and SoundCloud. Why am I
So
saying
right now,
probably?
It's
By the time people
Spotify
are hearing
signs
this,
it,
it's already
right?
yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I
just
mean,
kidding.
we'll try to get on Spotify, but chances are probably not immediately.
Spotify podcasts, Google
Oh, yeah.
podcasts. Isn't there Apple Podcasts as well?
Throw
Yeah.
us on
Well,
Audible.
Audible.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go in as many places as we can. All right. Let's
Bro,
just
I'm
put it that
expecting
way.
you to like mail me a USB
Yeah.
by like carrier pigeon, bro.
I'll mail you a floppy
LimeWire.
disk. How about that?
Oh shit, let's go.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show and talking to
Sure.
us.
Thank you.
So
Anytime.
for everybody out there, just have a good day. Stay safe. If
Yeah, drink water.
drink water. Just
Drink water.
chill. Later, everybody.